And welcome back to another episode of the Carolina Otaku Podcast. I am Afro, and I'm here with my co-host
Lexi.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for this episode. I really am. I'm really excited. We have 2 reviews for you today.
Yeah.
And I think you guys are really going to enjoy this. I know a lot of people probably have a lot of questions about Lexi's trip to Dreamville, and also about the new series Fallout. So now that I gave you that brief of what this episode is going to be about, let's get into this shit. All right. So, how we start out every episode. Lexi, what have you been up to?
Like he said, I went to Dreamville like 2 weeks ago. I had a good time, like a really great time. Besides that, nothing much really about working. And then I have a wedding I'm going to in like 2 weeks. I'm getting ready for that, and then also getting ready for a vacation I'm taking next month. So yeah.
Oh, aren't you lucky? No, that's cool. What's your that's dope on the wedding. Is it do you have to travel for it?
Not that far. I gotta go to Georgia, so.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. What have I been up to? Really nothing. Nothing really new since last time. Starting to get warmer. I do have I went to Home Depot this morning because I wanted to buy a angle grinder. A Ryobi. Yeah.
A what?
Angle grinder.
What the fuck is that?
It's like a joint. It's a joint that has like a handle, and you can like grind through like metal with it or cut through metal with it and shit like that. I'm doing some modifications to the smoker. I found a welder who I'm gonna take it to on Friday. He's gonna fix it up.
I tell you guys every time, this man has a million and one fucking hobbies. Like the jack of all trades, know how to do it all.
Yeah. But I was driving and it was like still dark outside. First thing is I have to get my eyes checked again because I know I have to buy yellow lenses because the lights on cars now really fuck with my eyes big time.
Yeah, I have to get the UV blocking too because of that. I have astigmatism in both my eyes, so yep.
Yeah, I definitely got to do that. And also, when I tell you that spring is here. If you don't know, now you know. I got allergies like a motherfucker. And I went out to cut my grass. And I tell you, I didn't wear anything over my nose, over my face, or nothing. And that was bad. Because when I got done, I was so fucking congested. It was crazy. This might be kind of graphic, but I blew my nose and that shit was insane.
Okay.
It was crazy. Crazy. If you have allergies, get your meds, or if you're doing something outside, cover up because the pollen looks like a big ass green blanket right now.
Yeah.
Also, cicadas are coming. If you didn't know,
they're coming.
Cicadas.
They're coming.
Cicadas are coming. They're saying they coming out the ground and they coming, y'all. If they coming, just know before you walk into your house, check yourself because they could be anywhere. You won't even know it. They don't do nothing to you. You know, most of the people that listen to this would probably know. They're old enough. If you were around before, they don't do nothing, but you know, they'll be everywhere. So be prepared for that. But anyway, I was driving to Home Depot and I have LED lights on my truck. And when I tell you these bugs were literally Jeff Hardy into my windshield, it was crazy. I was driving, I say like 45 miles per hour, back roads, driving, and these things are just like, I mean, literally exploding on my windshield. Right? I'm
Crazy.
so happy I bought 3 bottles of windshield wiper fluid because I'm gonna have to refill soon again. Right? So I was just like, I got out my car and I looked at the front of my car, and when I tell you all of the different types of bugs that were in my headlights, on my front windshield, just the whole front of the car just looks like a frog's banquet. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
Ew.
Ridiculous. They were just coming in like bullets. Remember in A Bug's Life when
Yes.
I think it was like the first scene when the bug was like, "Oh, it's so pretty," and the dude is like, "Gary, no, he just dies."
Oh shit!
Like
Yeah.
that's what the LED lights are doing with these bugs, and they come out of it, and by the time they come out of it, splat, and it's just gone. So that was interesting. That was crazy, but really, nothing else new from my side. Yeah.
Oh, like you didn't get to see me?
Oh yeah, that's right. And you got to meet my sister too.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see Lexi. She came up for breakfast, and it was cool. It was nice. It was it was actually a really nice day. That was actually, I tell you what, when Dreamville happened, that was actually a really good weather. That was really good weather for that weekend. I mean, yes, it was hot.
Hot.
Was it?
No, it was fucking freezing cold. It wasn't freezing cold, but like during the day, it was cold. And then I'm outside with fishnets and a short ass skirt on, and then the sun goes down. Oh, I froze my ass off. Yeah,
Wow.
don't say it was nice because it wasn't.
Yeah. So while she was at the festival, I kept up with her, make sure she was good and everything. Texting her like, "Hey, you good? You good?" And then she went silent on me. I don't know why.
You do know why.
I know why, and you're gonna tell. So what we're gonna do now? This is a good segue into Lexi. How was Dreamville? I have a couple questions, but just overall, how was the festival?
Yeah. So the festival was really good. I'll give it probably like an 8 out of 10. Rating wise. So if you guys don't know, Dreamville is a big festival that J. Cole puts on in Raleigh every year for 2 days. And so I don't live that far. I'm like 4 hours out. So I know I'd never been, but I wanted to go. I have never been to a festival. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm going to tell you guys now, if you guys want to go, please bring some walking shoes. Because the walk from parking to the field is a mile. It is not like a little oh, you're walking on flatland. No, you got some hills and stuff, so you're taking a little bit of a hike to get to the field. So that's one thing. And so I had varsity passes, so that means I was in the VIP. So when I got there, the line to get in wasn't long compared to general admissions or GA plus. They had a line. All they did was search your bag or whatever. And if you do go, make sure you have if it's a small bag, it doesn't have to be clear, but if it's a big book bag, it has to be clear. So make sure that's done, and then don't bring any drinks, don't bring any outside food.
Really? You couldn't bring water?
You cannot bring any liquids. You had to bring you could bring a bottle.
Yeah.
And you can refill it. They had water stations, but you couldn't bring any liquid in. Because that Sunday I went, the guy that was patting us down or whatever, he was like, "Oh yeah, I just had to confiscate 6 White Claws," and then he was like, "My girl over there, she had to confiscate some tequila and so any kind of liquids, don't bring it in because you can't
That's
You get in.
great.
So like after that, that was pretty smooth. And then you just like walk in, it's like a big field. You see like vendors on like this side and that side of the field. And then there's 2 stages like here and here. And so when I got there, I just got like Sexy Red had just started like her set. So I stayed there and like listened to her do her set. I'm sorry if y'all a Sexy Red fan. She has no stage presence, like none, zilch. She's.
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not. I'm just. Some people are like. If you've been to a concert, like SZA has really good stage presence. Beyonce, awesome stage presence. The Weeknd, like there's very few concerts that I've gone to that have like zero stage presence. She's one of them. So yeah. So after that, I met up with some friends, and then we got to like get food. Food line, that shit is long, like super long. But luckily, where we went, and there was like nobody really there, so it didn't take that long. But like that Sunday, it was literally like an hour wait to get food, depending on where you went. So yeah. Also, phone reception. You could do maybe a text, maybe a call, but no data. Like I have T-Mobile and I have a work phone that also has T-Mobile. This phone had no data whatsoever, but for some reason my work phone data worked just fine. I don't know. But it was slow, but it worked. So that's another thing too. If you go, bring a blanket because like that Sunday, a friend I met up with, him and his friend did not have a blanket, so they were just sitting on the ground until I got there. And I was like, "Do you guys want to sit on my blanket? Because why are you sitting on the ground? Like, bring a blanket. Also, bring like sunscreen.
Yes, black people need sunscreen, y'all.
Yes,
let's cut the bullshit. We need sunscreen.
We do. So bring that. Bring like if you're a girl, bring like your wipes or whatever you need. One thing that saved me was I brought like heating patches. Like I had like Midol makes like these little heart-shaped heating patches that saved me both times. It was so cold when the sun went down. And like I said, that first day I literally was like wearing fishnets, a skirt, I had on a shirt, and then I had on like my Adidas coat that I took with me, and I was still freezing. So I like literally had to put like the patch on like my stomach and like yeah. But anyways, back to Saturday. So after we got food, I forgot who played next. Okay, after we got food, it was really close to like Schoolboy Q. I love Schoolboy Q, so we went to see him.
How was his performance?
Huh?
How was his performing?
It was awesome. Like, I guess because like I was really close to him. Like, I mean, like to the point where I could see his tattoos and shit. And so, like, this is another reason. If you ever go, please get varsity. Like, get some kind of VIP because we have a separate entrance and it's like really close to the stage. So you can see everybody really close and whatever. So his set was awesome. Like these 2 little like young like kids were like standing beside me and I guess they didn't know who he really was, so they wasn't singing any of those songs, but me and my friend, like we were hyped, we were just like singing and like yeah, it was really good. So after that I had to go get like VIP merch, and then that took a while. Another thing, if you have a Chase card, put it on your wristband before you even go because they have like a fast lane for people who have Chase. It doesn't really work where I was, but like if you're out in like the general area, it does work because not a lot of people are there have Chase, so you get stuff a lot quicker. And then who played after that? I went to see. So I missed Lil Yachty's like his whole entire set. I missed that. I'm so sad. Who else played? I think I miss Jed. I miss a lot of people that day, but like, I miss 50. I was kind of like sad about that because like I was a 50 fan as a kid.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it because I wanted to see SZA. So it was like a choice between going to see him or getting a really good spot for SZA. And like I chose to get that really good spot for SZA. And I kind of regret that I did. But like, anyways, so I went over late to her area and I think I got there like 8, but she didn't go on to like 9:30. So I was just standing around waiting. So I was just standing around waiting and my friend was like pointing and I was like, huh? And then it's like, it was one of my favorite TikTokers. Like it's the guy who does like the school like superintendent or worker with like the curly wig or whatever, jingling like the keys or the ice or whatever. Or he'll do like the girl in high school, the typical ones, like, you know, with the Starbucks cup or whatever. Yeah, it was him. And I didn't ask him for like a picture or anything. I just did the whole like, and then like I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Did he go? Did your friend like go say, hey?
Yeah, no, like they had a whole like it was him and like a family beside us, so they just had like a whole entire conversation. And I'm like trying to get warm because I am like freezing cold. And while they were talking, this is what he was talking about. While they were talking or whatever, I was just standing there, like, you know, just moving around, like trying to, you know. And then I just remember asking my friend for water, and lights were out. Like I don't know if I didn't pass out, like I didn't fall out, but like my friend said my body went limp, and like I was done. And so like I lost my spot because of that, because my friend was like, no, we're leaving. And I was like, no, I'm gonna see SZA. Like, we're gonna get I'm at least see like a couple of her songs before I leave. And so we had to move. Like I moved from where we were standing. We were like super, super close to like the back where the VIP like thing was. So I sat there, put the blanket down, and I waited and like whatever. And I think we watched like 4 of her songs and then we left. Oh my God. I don't even know how I made it back to the car that first night, but I luckily made it back to the car. All I remember after that is like soon as I got in the car, out. I was out. I was out. And then when we got back, as soon as I hit the bed, out again. I didn't wake up until like, this is why he didn't hear from me. I didn't wake up till like 5, 6 that morning. And then I was up for like a little bit and then I went back to sleep. And so day two. So day 2, I decided like I didn't want to be out there all day because like I knew if I was out there all day, I probably was not gonna make it all day. So I decided to wait. I think I went out there like 5 because I just really wanted to see mainly like J. Cole, Rema. I wanted to see Nicki, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So, anyways,
okay.
So my friend was there. Like I said, we met up with them, and we just like really talked for a bit. We listened to Ray Shrim. We didn't go up to the stage, but we just sat like in the field and listened to that or whatever and talked. And then yeah, it was pretty much like a chill day that second day. And then Nikki was supposed to be on at 8. Like 8.
What time she going?
Fishing going at 9:00. Like she was an hour late to her own set, and because of that, it pushed back J. Cole set. And like I was gonna get pictures for my boss because she's a J. Cole fan, and like I was gonna not J. Cole, excuse me, but Nicki fan, and I was gonna send them to her for brownie points, but you know she didn't come on, and I was like, oh no, I'm not missing J. Cole, so I left. I was like,
oh, so it was a different stage.
Yes, there's 2 stages. Okay. So you got to walk back and forth between the 2 stages.
So
you see, so like everybody, like when she was like, it was like 8:30 and she hadn't came on yet. Everybody started like, all right, we're going to see.
Yeah. Yep.
It's time to go. And then over there, when we got there, it's like 8:45. People are like starting to like scoot in. Like as time goes by, it gets like people are scooting in more and more and more. Like you have less room. But like J. Cole's set was pretty dope. Like, and I'm gonna say this now for everybody to be like, why did he apologize? That was such a bitch move. Why he apologized? For me and a lot of people, he just realized that that's not him. He did it more out of peer pressure, and he's man enough to say that he's sorry for even doing that. Y'all need to grow up. That's my spill on it. But yeah, it most people still, I think it was a minute and 30, but the whole entire talk he had about that was 5 minutes. So yeah, keep that in mind. But other than that, everything else was pretty good, except for going back, because I stayed to the whole entire set, so everybody was trying to get out at the same time.
Yep.
It was hell trying to get out.
That J. Cole shit is interesting. Yes, I understand being a grown ass man and falling into peer pressure and all that shit. But also, nigga, come on, let's spice this music shit up a little bit. You know what I mean? Honestly,
cool. We have enough we have enough people already having beef. You know what I mean? But
here's the shit though. They're putting their shit. Oh God, I was about to say they put their shit on wax. It's not wax anymore, but they put their shit on wax though. They're like real shit. It's not anything about two motherfuckers meeting and killing each other. No, they putting their shit to lyrics. That's totally different. That's all the sport. That's the whole sport. And when you apologize about it, it's damn, my nigga, I thought you were an athlete in this shit.
I feel
go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like J. Cole, because he made a comment. He was like, I don't know how many more of these Dreamvilles I have in me. And he's like, I'm damn near 40. And so I can see it. He's damn near 40. Why is he playing these childish ass games? That ain't him. That's not who he is or whatever. So y'all got to give it to the man. He's not a young player in the game that can entertain that type shit. He said that shit kept him up at night because that's just that he fucked with his inner peace. And I'm one of those people that nah, you're not fucking with my peace. I'm not. I gotta have that. So
I get that, but I'm just gonna say this: there's nobody that is younger that is doing the shit that a Kendrick, that a Cole. I mean, people put Drake in there. I'm not a Drake fan, but yeah. But all the people that would do battle through lyrics, niggas aren't doing that now. I don't give a fuck what you say. And the funny thing is, when people know it's lyrical and not the physical shit, oh, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. No, this is just right. This is rapping. I'm trying to show you why I am a good MC. I'm trying to show you why I'm a good MC. Yes, I have the catalog. Yes, I have my catalog, but don't let this shit fool you. I can throw down when I need to throw the fuck down.
We can hustle.
But when you got all these motherfuckers that are like you said, getting older into their 40s and shit, ain't nobody doing that now. Everybody's on some shit some kumbaya shit, to be honest with you, which is cool. That's just the way that it is. That's just the way that shit goes. So, if it's not kumbaya shit, then it's killing shit. But it's nothing it's either far left, far right, the kumbaya shit, the killing shit. There's not many that are in this middle shit saying, oh yeah, let's start some some artists real MC shit. We spitting lyrics that actually make sense. One thing is the masses don't want to hear that. The masses don't want to hear that because that shit ain't gonna sell. But there are some people that do. I don't know. It's just a bunch of bullshit. I get it. He doesn't want to, interrupt his piece and all that shit. That's cool. But honestly, I think him apologizing wasn't necessary. I don't think he needed to apologize. I think he just should have left it the way that it was, and it didn't hit. It didn't hit. Some shit just don't hit. That's dope that you had a good time. I I was going to ask you, what was the you didn't see, I mean, I think you said you saw a lot of performances. You said Sexy Red doesn't have the stage performance.
She doesn't.
Do you think that when it comes, I guess, what is Sexy Red like, different, hip hop and rap and all that stuff has different categories, is its own category, but has different smaller categories within it.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to say, would you put a Sexy Red like, I feel stupid even saying that because she's actually dope. I was gonna say, would you put like a Sexy Red in a category with like Trina, but Trina's actually dope. Trina's dope as fuck though.
Okay. Y'all will hate me, but like, no, I wouldn't put her in a Trina category. I will put her in a Kaya category. Because they both Kaya.
Who the fuck is that?
Oh my god. Okay, my neck, my back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know who the fuck that was. Yeah. That's all you had to say. You just had to say the song. I didn't know who the fuck that was. Sorry, y'all. I didn't know who the fuck that was. That's my bad. So you would put it in that category.
Yeah, if you're talking about like some OG female rappers, like that's the kind of energy she gives. Like, because Kaya was like, she didn't give a fuck. She was gonna say what she wanted to say. Sexy Red the exact same way. She's gonna say what she want to say. She don't give a fuck. She's not trying to be like a polished image of like what you see. She's just lit. She's raw. She's she's ratchet. So yeah.
Okay. That's what's up though. I'm happy that you had a good time doing that. Would you do it again?
Already planning on going next year.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's good though. That's really dope. That's good. Well, let's so if you're watching the video, you can see from the background. What is his name?
He doesn't really have a name, and we'll talk about that. Like, yeah.
So if
you can call him Vault Boy, but
I would thought it'd be like Pit Boy, but the Pit Boy is just the
wrist.
Yeah, the wrist itself. But if you haven't already, there is a new series out called Fallout, and which is based on the game. I took notes on this shit too. Like each episode, I took notes on it. I really did. So the series Fallout is actually based on Fallout 4, which came out in 2014.
It's not.
Yes, it is. That's what it said.
Not.
That's what it said. That's what it said. I know these things, Lexi. I saw it on the internet.
It's not based off 4.
What is it based off on?
It's not based off any of the games. It's a combination of like the stories from each of them. Like you have parts of Fallout 3 that are in there. You have parts of Fallout 4 that are remnants in there, and you have the Enclave.
76 in there too.
Not so much. I think there's like a sprinkle or 2 in it.
Yeah.
And then like you have Fallout 4 because I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it, but like Codsworth, his voice actor is in there. So yeah. And then you have New Vegas, but I'll get to that in a minute.
But what's crazy is shit. Okay. So let's we'll just start out from the jump. So we the 3 main characters in this shit is Lucy, who's a vault dweller, Maximus, who's part of the Brotherhood. And honestly, if you go on Amazon and you press pause, with what homie comes up as is the Ghoul. That's it.
That's what they call him. That's not his technical name. He does have an actual name though.
What's his name?
Cooper.
Okay.
Cooper Howard, actually. So if Todd Howard, Bethesda, anyways, proceeding on.
Yeah. See, Lexi knows this shit. This is her bag. So
obviously you have the 2 posters.
This is her bag. So I kind of just want to let's do like the first like 5 eps and then do the last. So first of all, what did you think of the series as a whole?
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and like every time I talk about it, I always say that like I'm glad that they paid attention to details.
Yeah.
And I'm also glad that like it wasn't like a Netflix adaptation, because I feel like if Netflix would have got it, it would have been complete and utter garbage, and I would have been so fucking mad. But Amazon was like, okay, well, you know, here you go, do what you want, and we got the story that we got. So
yeah. First of all, I didn't know that the person that played Lucy was British. Didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
The person that plays Maximus, I knew he looked familiar, but he looked bigger. He played on a show on Netflix called Disjointed with Kathy Bates in it. He was Kathy Bates' son. If you haven't watched Disjointed, it's actually a really good show. I haven't watched it. It's 2 seasons, and it was actually kind of funny. And the person that played Cooper, what's his name? His last name is Joggins or something like that. Mm-hmm. That motherfucker is hilarious. You've seen him in a lot of series with Danny McBride, Vice Principals, The Righteous Gemstones. He played in a movie with Samuel L. Jackson and Kurt Russell. And I don't know. It was a Quentin Tarantino movie, I think. But within the Righteous Gemstones, he played.
Oh, he was in the Hateful Eight.
Yeah. Yup. He was. Yup. He surely was.
And Django.
Yeah.
Django.
That motherfucker. Gosh. He does the Southern white man very, very well. Like I said, in the Righteous Gemstone, he played Little Baby Billy. That's his name, Little Baby Billy. And in Vice Principal, he played the rival to Danny McBride. So I mean, the man has a resume that's actually really good. And seeing him in this and kind of seeing him as like on some like real serious shit, not really on a comedy shit like that, I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker is nice. I think the way that they cast it was actually really well. I actually really enjoyed it. And it was some things that if you play the games, there are some things that you're just like, oh yeah, you kind of, man, I don't want to skip shit. I don't want to go like all over the place, but I think that's kind of just us. So fuck that shit. So if you play the game, there are some like when they start to find out, like when Lucy's brother starts to actually dig deep and actually figure out like what's really going on, you realize that even in the game, when you go further into it, each vault, and Lexi knows this, I watch like Bethesda, like, so for Skyrim and Fallout, like I watch the lore of shit. If you want to watch some good shit, like if you just don't have shit to do, you just want to chill and have something in the background that you'll actually watch. What's that nigga's name?
Oxhorn.
Yeah. Yup. He does really well. And there's another dude too, but
is it Maddie?
Maybe.
Maddie does a lot of them.
But you gotta check those out. They're really good. They're really nicely detailed. They go into the background of it, and it's dope. But when the brother really starts, okay, fuck it. We'll start from because we'll start from the beginning. Like I said, I took notes from this. When I first saw, so we come in, I'm kind of gonna just briefly go over it. Maximus is, first of all, I hate that he gets bitched.
But that's not the first thing that you see. The first thing that you see, like, soon as it starts, is like Cooper and his little and his daughter.
Oh
at the party.
Yep.
Yeah. And they see that.
Here's the thing, though. Now that I know, like, what happens and all that shit, when is that's before the vaults, right?
No. So how it worked is that it goes back to 2077 when the bomb dropped. We started the Great War. And so what we're seeing is Vault-Tec had already been in the business of like basically building these vaults because they were commissioned from the government to build these vaults in case something happened. And Vault-Tec realized that, hey, war is where the money's at.
Oh yeah.
It's the war never changes. And so they were already making these vaults and doing them, whatever. And the reason you know they were already doing this is because what you find out later in the series. So yeah.
Okay. Because when I looked at it and when he had his daughter with him, but not his wife, I was like, wait a minute. So, because that had me thinking like this had to be like the bomb hit. He picks up his daughter and then he rides the horse and then he goes. And then that's when I think like he goes through the whole like, because they didn't continue that shit. Like they never brought that scene back up to show.
I think they're probably going to do that in season 2, which is why they didn't bring so much in season 1. But
yeah,
you got to also understand. So like, I get asked that too. Like, so where was his wife? Where, right? So like, you got to remember at the party, he was just being a cowboy, and the guy that was there, he was like, "Oh yeah, he has alimony to pay. That's why he's doing this gig." So they more likely got a divorce. So at least that's what I'm piecing together. That's what I'm saying so far.
That makes sense because that makes total sense with the whole So that happens and he goes through that process trying to get his daughter out. My favorite part is when the thumb shit.
So cute.
Yeah, that shit was cute as fuck. Yeah. That shit was cute as fuck. And that motherfucker said, "Oh nah." Like
he took that horse and boom, on.
Yep. And I love the way how like the family of that was having the party was like, "Get the fuck out of here. Oh, my family is the only family going to this bunker. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you. Get out of here."
It got real quick.
Yeah, that shit changed really, really quick. So then, do we go to Maximus or
no?
Lucy?
You go to Lucy next.
Lucy?
So we go to the vault. Yep.
Yeah. So with the vault, and as soon as I saw this shit, I was like, something's got to happen. First of all, you see the vault. They take you through the vault. She's trying to basically promote herself or go in front of the board for like
it was some Hunger Games type shit.
Yeah. And basically they were gonna hand her off another vault and then all that shit. Then it was Raiders, right?
Yeah. So like in this part, she's basically like trying to be the one that goes over to the vault to be like the breeding partner or whatever. And you guys will understand that later on in the series. But like, so
she got down quick.
She did.
She got, what did she say? So what's your sperm count?
What?
Like, bitch, we just met. Like, and plus, I don't know. Right? And she was like, your doctor should have told you this information before. And he said, I don't know. And she got.
They were doing the do and like, fuck.
She said, I'm ready to get down. And that actually comes back up later on too. Um, 'cause she's just so blunt. It's hilarious.
She's like so naive and
Yeah.
like it's. I thought I was gonna hate it, but I actually loved it. It's so cute. But yeah.
But kind of the Raiders come in and fuck up
Everything.
I mean, they fuck shit up. And it's hold on. Let me see what I got here. Yeah. You know what's crazy? All the questions that I had, all of them got answered like all the way to the end from that first episode. Everything got answered, right? But Raiders came in, fucked up the vault. Some of them did die. Some of them killed a lot of the vault dwellers, like a lot of them, a lot. And what was the lady's name?
Oh, you would ask me that. I don't remember her name. Shoot.
Moldova?
Yeah, Moldova.
Yeah.
Moldova. Oh, yeah.
Yep. So
she takes the daddy.
Yep. Takes the father, which honestly,
her daddy's the overseer, by the way, you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if he said that.
Each vault has an overseer, and it's a voted. It's he or she is voted in, right? So yeah, they come in, fuck shit up. Everybody's like, what the fuck is going on? How the fuck did they get in here? What the fuck happened? How did these motherfuckers get in here like this? This doesn't make any sense at all. Right? So Lucy sees the damage that's happening. They got her father. Everybody's going fucking ape shit. And they're like, what the fuck we're going to do? I'm kind of just going over shit. Lucy is like, you know what? Fuck this shit.
She's like, I'm out. I'm gonna get my daddy.
I'm going up there, right? And then, you know what the crazy shit is? The tall motherfucker, her cousin.
Stop, because I've been getting like memes about that like all week. Oh my
cousin. Her cousin, right? I love you, Lucy. We're cousins. We're cousins, right? So, and I also
real quick though.
Yeah. I also like her brother too. Like at first I was like, you're kind of weird, but then him actually further into the series, it was actually really dope. So that's the vault. Vault gets fucked up. Then let's just say, you know, Lucy tries to see what she can do on outside of the vault and goes out for the first time and is bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and naive as fuck, right? So then we go to Maximus. And I was kind of, I didn't like the way that they brought in the Brotherhood, because if I'm not mistaken, I like it. They can't do everything by the game, so they kind of had to bring them in a certain way. But first of all, I don't like that Maximus was always getting bitched. Don't like that shit. I also didn't like, I don't know, his great actor, because I really got mad at that motherfucker sometimes because his attitude was just atrocious.
Like, it was like, God damn, why are you such a fucking jerk? Shit.
Yeah.
Like,
it was shit. So, honestly, the Brotherhood is a cult. Let's just call it what it is. It really is. Because
compared to some of the other cults that we know of,
it is. Because if you really want to think about it, these motherfuckers get, this happens later in the story, they get branded.
But you know that actually doesn't happen in the games, right?
No, it doesn't. I know. And it's crazy. I was like, okay, I'll see how Maximus goes and everything. But his main goal is that he wants to be within the, what do they call it? The what number was that? Yeah, the
T60 power armor. Yeah.
Yep. That's his goal. He wants to be that. So his his friend, one of his closest friends, that's also in the Brotherhood with him, ends up getting picked to be a squire, right? And goes through the whole ceremony. They celebrate. That motherfucker get pissed off. He slams the toilet seat down, slam it hard as fuck. He mad as shit. And the next morning, this motherfucker's whole foot is gone. Right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what if that motherfucker, I'm sitting there and I was like, what if that motherfucker blacked out? Like, cut that motherfucker's foot off. Right? So, can I just say what happened? I mean, we're going to go through it anyway.
You mean that they did it to themselves?
Yeah.
Because they didn't really want to go? Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. You have to be out of your fucking mind, or it has to be something wrong with you mentally. And the whole foot was gone. It like
it wasn't gone, but it was severely cut. But
yeah.
But what's fucked up, even though they did that, they still ended up going anyways. So like the point of you even doing that was like for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's crazy. Crazy. And this, like I said, this episode kind of just gives a overall just like glimpse of these characters within the series. One of the things that kind of was that might have been second episode. All right. So first episode is just a brief glimpse of everybody who's in the series, showing where they come from, showing how they, became who they are and shit like that.
Their intros.
We didn't meet Cooper in the first episode when he was a ghoul yet, did we?
Not as a ghoul, but as a human. Yes.
As a human, we did. Okay. Yeah, Lucy's on her way, walking and shit. It's just crazy. And then Maximus ends up, because the friend couldn't do it, he ends up becoming a squire. But I also don't like the leader or the clergy or whatever the fuck that motherfucker is, who's part of the Brotherhood, that weird fucking Ramsay Bolton looking motherfucker. I don't know. He's just some old dude, just weird. So first episode,
he's like extreme with it because he's like,
that's what it makes me think it's a cult, because the way that he upholds it and the way he presents it, seems like a cult.
And so because how Maxim even got to that point is that everybody thought he did it to his friend, and he didn't, but he had to convince him that he didn't, or whatever. And so like he basically was like, I'm all in. Y'all got my life. If y'all just want to do whatever, I'm down for the Brotherhood for life.
Yep.
Death do his part. That's how he was about it. And so he was like, okay. And then that's what convinced him. And then you'll see him again on some wild shit. And it's just like, oh, you really trying to do some real fucked up shit right here. But anyways, proceeding on.
Yeah. And I would say we go into second episode. I forgot where we start, but I do know that
you start with the scientist.
Yeah, right. We get into the scientist. The scientist basically goes against the rules, ends up training the dog. The dog is in love with this dude.
And it's not dog meat, even though they do call the dog meat later on. It is CX404. That is the dog's name.
Lexi shit, y'all. Look, if I post shit, get clips out of this shit, and y'all give me some bullshit, hey, y'all better stop playing. Y'all better stop playing. If it ain't Ox commenting on the shit, y'all better stop.
Just say it.
So, he ends up raising this dog, and this dog is like, just close to him.
He's also part of the Enclave.
Yep. He ends up getting caught. The dog ends up fucking murdering this dude. And this motherfucker looks at the dog and says, "We got to get the fuck up out of here." And them niggas are gone. So,
You're like, deuces.
Yep, they're on the run. And does Lucy meet him first?
You know what? I think she does because they all meet up in town, like the exact same town.
Yep. And I think around this time,
no, it's Lucy goes to town looking for a supply because she finds the Vault-Tec shop. Like the lady has all the Vault-Tec gear, and then she's like, "Oh, I forgot what she asked, and it was really weird." And the lady was like, "Huh?" And then we meet Ghoul.
We don't. We don't meet Ghoul. Maximus goes through the process of the person that he's squiring for.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker ends up like running away. He's scared as shit. And
bitch action, like he just ran.
Yeah, yep. And homie Maximus is like, he looks at Maximus and tells Maximus, "This is all your fault. You know that, right?"
Like, why would you say that?
Yeah,
when
you know this is all when you're about to die. Right. I ain't gonna help you do shit. I don't have to help you do a goddamn
And then you
thing.
begging for a stim pack on top of that? Like,
right. You can eat a dick. So it basically Maximus ends up taking the armor, using the armor, doesn't know how to use it well. But you know, he learns pretty quickly. And this is when we meet Cooper. Because Cooper is trying to get the bounty for the guy, right?
They all have bounties of some sort. So
yeah, right. And Lucy is in this store. The lady is like, she's like, "I'm trying to find my father." And this lady, she knows the lady's name, Madalva. What is her name again? Yeah. And the lady looks at her and is like, "Do you know who she is?" "Yeah, everybody knows who the fuck she is. And if you go looking for her, you're going to fucking die yourself." So a whole bunch of shit happens. Basically, the woman is hired to help save the doctor and get him to a certain location.
Roll it back. Actually, before she went to town, you remember there was that big rad roach that was like about to attack her in the woods.
Oh, and
dog. That's how she met him. Yes, that's how she met the doctor. She met.
Yeah. She lit a fire. She lit a fire, and the doctor was like, "You're crazy. You should know never to light a fire at night like this."
And he basically tells her to go back home.
Like, you need to go back home. Like, you need to get the fuck out of here. You naive. You know what the crazy thing is? I'm gonna go a couple episodes. Remember when she like started to like get the ropes of the area, and she got captured for like they were gonna like take her body apart and get her organs and stuff.
Her organs.
Yeah, remember what she was wearing when she came out of the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, like she looked like a Fallout character. Yeah. White, like tank on,
white beater, leather armor.
Yep. Why
blood at the bottom? Like,
why the fuck? Later on, the next episode, her ass is back in the damn
suit, but it's still bloody as fuck. It wasn't clean. It was still dirty. So like, I don't know why they didn't keep her looking like that for the whole entire like show. They should have after that point, but hey.
I was like, what the fuck are they doing? But yes, so everybody is in this town. Maximus has to go get something fixed. He takes it to this woman, the repaired person, and he's like, "Hey, can you fix this for me really quick?" And she was like, "It'd be 5 caps." And he was like, "I only got 4. Can you do it for 4?" "No." And then he looks around and sees a "we pay for teeth" sign, goes over there, gets his teeth pulled out. He was like, here's extra if you do it quick. And she went,
she goes, zip.
That's it.
There you go. Bye.
And then Maximus comes back to the armor, and there are people picking from the armor pieces of it. He gets his ass kicked, gets his ass kicked more, picks up a pole, still gets his ass kicked, gets his arm into the armor, and literally smushes this motherfucker's head with the hand.
Like,
Crazy. And also at this time, no, that was before. That was after. No, that was after. Yeah. So, because I stepped ahead after the fight. He actually comes up in armor, helps Lucy, and then is fighting Cooper. And then Cooper is a pretty smart guy. And
he's a damn bounty hunter. What do you expect?
Yeah, true. Ends up not taking out Maximus, but Maximus doesn't understand the weight of it. Motherfucker gets stuck in a goddamn walk path. And then Cooper ends up killing the fucking dog.
Yeah, but it doesn't die.
Yeah, he brings it back with him back. Because he knew that motherfucker was gonna go find the doctor and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Maximus, they fight, all that shit. Lucy gets away with the doctor, the lady who's in charge of the store, basically helps her get away and all that shit, right? Oh, and he gets his foot repaired because it
you call it that.
Yeah, right. And I'm kind of to the point where I'm just like, all right, let's just hit highlight shit.
All right, we get the highlights because it's already like 57 minutes. So like,
so fourth episode, that was second episode. They get away, and he's like, doctor's like, hey, look, you're gonna have to. I'm not gonna be able to make it. You need to like cut off my head here. Take this, cut this off, and take this head.
Is it Plan D?
Yep, you can save the world. You have that opportunity. So she ends up doing that. She has the head, and Cooper uses the dog to find that, right? And Maximus, it has to deal with the Brotherhood because they call to see what's going on and send out a new squire. And his new squire is the motherfucker they used to pickle on him.
Yeah, right? One of them. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them. So, fourth episode, which I thought was really good. So, fourth episode was actually interesting. This is what I have note-wise. Okay. You're going to laugh at this. Bert's small feet. So, the blonde lady who was pregnant in the vault, she was like, these were Bert's shoes. Right? And she's talking to the cousin.
This scene is so disturbing, you guys.
Yeah, right. Small feet. I said she wanted some dick. And
she did. She did. Oh, yeah. She literally went to, okay. So like the cousin of Lucy that like I'm in love with you. She goes to his like place, like his little area or whatever. And she's like, bring you some Brit stuff, you know, because I thought, you know, you could use it. Yeah, she puts the cardigan on him. And she just like starts like attacking him. But as soon as she starts to attack him, her water breaks.
She said he said the dumbest shit when that happened. Did he say he said you're wet? You're wet. Nah, yo. What that motherfucker said to her was crazy. Right? It just makes me know what goes down in those vaults. But what else I got on here? We find out that ghouls need to have ghouls that aren't already changed to full like ghouls need vials.
Feral ghouls, yeah.
Yep. In order to survive. We get our first Snip makes his appearance in episode 4. What else? Oh, this is when did we skip 3?
Yeah, but I mean 3 and 2 are kind of like together in a way, so it's not really that you missed anything in episode 3.
Field of wheat behind rubble. This is when Lucy's brother actually end up digging more into Vault
Mm-hmm.
32 or 33. No, 31.
31 and
31.
32.
Yeah. And honestly, this reminds me of the game. Because I'm pretty sure this was a part in the game. Like this was actually a storyline, like one of the missions in the game, where you actually find out that all of these vaults have their own like crazy weird.
I mean, that's like every game. Every last one of the vaults have a different like
Yeah.
Vault-Tec experiment, which is talked about in episode 8. But yeah.
Yeah, because
Crazy.
one of the big things I wanted to bring up from that episode was the ones that like had like the fish and they had like the mutant people, the Cyclops dude and everything, which that was a really funny vault. She said, if we came to your home, we would probably say the same thing. And this is the woman at another vault telling Lucy,
That's an
you're
episode
one to
5.
judge. Right. What was your vault's secret? And Lucy's just sitting there like, what are you talking about? What secret? Right. But her brother ends up finding a whole bunch of human remains in a part of the vault that nobody has been in 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. We end up seeing what else I got here? Yeah, biosignal 2 years ago. It looks like the dwellers killed themselves. Lots of bodies in the vault. This is also when Lucy goes getting her organs taken. She ends up freeing and escaping, and she frees the ghouls.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys that were high as fuck, I guess, were just like, "Oh yeah, don't free them because they're gone. they're done. Like you
But
let them
Lucy
out.
being Lucy, she's like, no, let them out too.
Free all of them." Those motherfuckers came out in a rush. I hate when I play Fallout. I do a lot of sneaking. Yeah, I do a lot of sneak shit. Right. So my shit, like I always have an arrow, always have a bow and arrow, always. And when you sneak, your sneak attack goes up higher when you sneak and you hit those headshots. Remember that, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But she ends up releasing all the ghouls. Some of the ghouls are like, fuck it, I'm killing everybody that I see. And then there's one ghoul that was actually still talking, but was literally on the line of just saying and just being gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody died. Right. And this is when Cooper brought Lucy to this place for exchange for vials that he needs in order to survive. Lucy, being kind-hearted as she is, she makes it out. But and she gets her finger replaced. That's right, chopped off his finger. What?
No, that she got her finger cut.
Yeah. She ends up helping Cooper because Cooper passed out and hands him more vials. We come back and Cooper's in there and he's just fucking. It looks like he's just drinking alcohol. He's just dousing himself in these vials, and he's just like, "Holy shit!" Take some. What else I got here? When the brother ends up doing research to see how the raiders got in, they find out that the way that they get in, the cousin mentioned they need a pit boy to get in here. And he was like, they did? Who was it? It was my mother. So they find that out. And this is also when Cooper ends up watching the VHS of himself back in the day.
Yep. And the whole Vault-Tec Vault Boy gear. Yep.
And all that shit. 5, Maximus. This is all just notes that I have. Maximus tells his squire who he is because he thought he can trust him.
Name is Thaddeus.
Yeah, Thaddeus. Thaddeus says, "Fuck you. And then
and like locks him in the suit so he can't get out. So
right.
like, poor
And
Thaddeus.
Maximus is just like, fuck, I'm gonna die here. I'm going to die. So Thaddeus ends up running away, carrying that big ass stupid bag, and Lucy ends up coming around and saving Maximus, and they make a truce and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you remember he also saved her too because she was going through radiation poison. So
oh yeah, that's right. Hey, 'cause she drank the water. She drank some water, and this is when Lucy actually started to find out what the radiation, like her Pit Boy was going off.
and it's like,
When, oh man, we missed a big part.
what big part?
When he used Lucy for bait.
Well, I mean that part.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that important. Like they're all chasing this head. That's their all. They all have that goal. They need the head of the scientist, and so like he does. Like Ghoul does use Lucy as bait to get the head back,
right,
or whatever.
This is before we got to the ending. Maximus started off with a lie to Lucy. Didn't give his real name.
No, he said his name was Titus, Night Titus.
Yep. Also, the vault that Lucy came from is going through a whole vote for a new overseer.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that was interesting to me was that Betty was overseer before.
And Vault 31, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm gonna bring something up at the end about Betty that like nobody really has mentioned. But anyways, keep going.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but we'll see. I think so. So that was interesting to me because Betty, and when homie was looking at the votes, it was always 31 to 33 for every overseer the past, always 31 to 33, always. My thing that I was thinking about that was that honestly, Betty is probably the oldest person there in that vault. And Betty knows what the fuck going on. And wait, hold on.
Okay, I'm gonna say it so we can like get to the point.
Wait, no. Wait. Nah, that'd be stupid.
No. So she's not the oldest.
Would it be stupid for that might sound really stupid. Would it be stupid for me to think that no, that's not her?
That is her.
That's the wife?
No, that's not the wife. That's the wife's assistant. So you remember yes. So nobody really like noticed that. That's the wife's assistant. That's why him and her, like, she was younger, but like, yeah. So, and you know, when they, okay, so we're reading ahead, but like, anyways, so like when they, so anyways, all right, let's just get it all the way down so we can go ahead and do it. So like, so when Vault 31 is basically the vault for Vault-Tec employees, pretty much. Like, they're higher up. They're Bud's buddies. We'll get to that in a minute. But like, she is one of those employees, and so was Hank, aka Lucy's dad.
Yep.
So and then Cooper, his wife that we've been like talking about, she was also one of Vault-Tec's higher ups. Yep. She's actually the one that got him doing like the videos and the promos for Vault-Tec.
Yep.
Because the whole entire time, technically, it like the whole entire like series, you see him going back and forth about Vault-Tec. Like, he knows something is up with them. Yep. He's like, they're not good people. And he was like, he's basically trying to convince his wife. He's like, yo, you don't need to work there. We can buy a spot in our vault. She was like, no. Right. She's like, we need to like be there or whatever. Yep. And it doesn't make sense if you don't like it clicks at the end, but when you see this and you're like, huh? So yeah. So anyways, yes, Betty is the assistant to Cooper's wife. Because her name was Betty. He says it.
Yeah. Damn. Yep. But Betty was they ended up like them when when she won, and they were like, "Hey, so we're going. I want to
don't
be
even know if they really did like elections. I feel like they just like bring people like unfroze them and brought them back and transferred them to like Vault 33. Because if you look, even her dad was like 31 to 33, same as like the overseer of 32. She was from 31 to 33.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and they redid what the I think the brother's name is Leon.
No, it starts with an M.
M.
Let me go back and see what her name. His name was. Oh no, it's Norman. Like Norman.
Yeah.
Norm or Norman. Yeah.
Norm. So Norm, when they were going and they saw all the dead bodies and stuff like that, Betty was like, "We want to be open and honest with you. We want to show you what's going on." So we redid this whole thing, and Norm is just going through it, and he's just remembering the bodies, the blood, all that shit. And then they turn around, make the woman that was pregnant the overseer. So basically, that's
32. Yeah, because they decided to open back up 32.
Yep. So it was. I thought that was crazy. That was crazy to me. They end up going to the Maximus, and Lucy end up going to the vault. The new vault. Wife is the vault. Believer husband is iffy about it.
I don't want to forget Shady Sands.
Say it again.
Shady Sands.
Oh yeah.
That's like a big part of this plot. It's like what happened there.
Yeah. I wasn't it that, if I'm not mistaken, tell me if I'm wrong, wasn't it supposed to be that certain vaults open at certain times?
Yes, they do have certain times. Like for Vault 76, that's what the premise of the game is, reclamation days. That's what they call it when you go outside.
Right. And I do think Lucy was so surprised. She was like, "Wait, there's a new fucking California?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah." Where the fuck? Maximus was there like, "Fuck you been?" Yeah. It's like, that's a thing. And she was just so fucking surprised and just like flabbergasted, because she was, look, I feel sorry for Lucy. I love that she gained the knowledge as she was going. But even then, she was still, remember when they were crossing the bridge and the fiends were there?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, you got any firearms? He was like, "No, put your hands up." And he could put his hands up, and they're walking. And then she looking at the pit boy, and he just bop, bop. And he was like, "Why?" They were fiends. She was like, "Huh? What are fiends?" They eat people. That shit was crazy. Like, they eat people. He just got up and just walked the fuck away. So anyway, I don't think I think the biggest thing is Lucy. I know we're gonna skip a whole bunch, but whatever. Lucy ends up going to shit. Maybe I should put like a spoiler alert in front of this.
This is a whole damn thing we talked about as a spoiler alert. Look, if you,
true.
I'm sorry if you ain't watched it. You just you know it now. Now you need to go back and watch it, because there are some things that we haven't talked about, and it probably won't make sense until you watch it and see it.
Yeah. But at the end, Moldova. Yeah. She ends up explaining what happens to Lucy's mother, and with her father trapped in the cage. And her father is just a piece of shit. Yeah. Piece of shit. Big piece of shit.
All right. I think we should just go ahead and start wrapping it up, and I'm going to do the wrap up because
go ahead.
It all ties to like together. So like, all right. So we get the head. Lucy has it, and she takes it to Moldova, and Moldova's like, "Oh, do you know who your father really is?" She just looks at her. She's like, "Huh?" And she's like, and she just starts telling her the story, and kind of at the same time that she's telling her the story, Cooper's also going through his own like backstory. And so we find out like kind of at the same time that Vault-Tec was the one that dropped the bombs first.
Yep.
If you play the games and like know about it, you know that we thought China did it, but it wasn't. It was Vault-Tec. Vault-Tec was in the business. They found out that hey, war makes more money than anything else. So they were doing that, and they were also in the boardroom like talking about the experiments that we can do in each one of these vaults. Hence
and
why
Cooper was listening to this the whole time.
Yeah. We're not gonna go into how he got it. It's not really that important, but he was there listening. And that's also how we found out about the assistant Betty, because when she comes to the door, she's like, "Oh, hey, Betty," and like, whatever. Also, I didn't notice it till the day I was watching a YouTube video. Mr. House was there for Robco. And also, there's another company, I forgot the name of it, but there's another character from the games that was in the boardroom for Vault-Tec. So
that's why they did close-ups on their names.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that. Yeah, they did. I was like, that has to be something. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mr. House was in that room. Hence why when we're going to New Vegas next season, I want to see how that plays out. Because I love Mr. House. So even though he was evil as fuck. Anyways.
And then also Lucy told Cooper her full name.
Yes.
And that's what started to click in Cooper's head, because he knew that last name before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because her dad, the overseer, was a big fan of Cooper's.
Yep. And that's when you actually get the reveal, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's the father, and when he's younger and he's in charge of all this shit.
Right. So all right. So anyways, so she's telling Lucy the backstory of all that. And like I said, at the same time, Cooper's like going through his thought as well. And so Cooper met Moldiva trying to figure out what Vault-Tec was about, because he's just like been back and forth about it. And so she gives him like an ear planning device so he can bug like his wife's pit boy and listen in. And he does. And that's how he finds out that information. And so that's how he knows her from 200 plus years ago. But we never know how she like stayed alive during the time. They never said anything about it. So anyways. And then at the same time, her brother, Lucy's brother, Norm, is in Vault 31. And he meets Bud. If you guys don't know, Bud is like one of the higher executives at Vault-Tec, and he had this like idea about Bud's buddies, and you see a flashback of him talking to Cooper about it, and it just kind of clicks. And so once he meets Bud is like a robo brain, so basically a brain on a robot, well, not a robot body, but like a little,
Remember the needle?
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, I need you to come." He was like, "Don't move," and then that motherfucker turned into. That motherfucking turned into the fucking wall. That shit was funny. Go ahead. Sorry.
So anyways, he does that or whatever. And like, we found out, like, you see his dad's vault, like not his vault, but his like cryogenic chamber had been like activated. And basically it gives the date, his whole entire name or whatever. And so he also finds out, like, Lucy's also finding out that her dad is evil. And what I mean evil is that her mom, Rose, that's her mom's name, figured out that like water was being siphoned, and she's like, well, there's got to be something causing the siphon. So she puts two and two together and figures out that there's like a whole nother community out there outside of the vaults. And she goes out and she takes the two kids and dips. She's like, I'm out. And she takes the two kids. And so Hank goes running after her, goes to Shady Sands, and this is like, hey, you coming back with me or not? And she was like, nah. And he's like, okay, bet. So he drops another bomb on Shady Sands, killing everybody there, which also plays into Maxim's story, because his parents were in that same area. They were all living in Shady Sands, which is kind of funny.
Wait.
Yes.
Were Max's parents the doctors?
I don't know if they were the doctors, but they were there. They all lived in shady. And so the only reason he survived is because he got into the fridge right as the bomb dropped.
Yep.
Which is kind of funny because Maxim and Lucy, anyways. So we figured that out, and then and it's also hinted in the like series because you hear Lucy say like when she was a kid she would go outside and feel like the actual like warm rays, and she thought it was like she was outside, but she thinks this is her mom, but she literally was outside. She was out the vaults.
Yep.
And so that happens, and then like I said, Cooper's finding out all this information at the same time, and then he meets Hank.
Yeah.
At the same time. Yeah.
And Cooper's like, what the fuck happened to my family? What the fuck happened to my family?
Nobody knows.
Yeah. What the fuck happened to my family? And he was like, I knew I heard that name before. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't put a face to it. And it was, oh man.
Yeah.
Look, it's so much shit to this. If you guys want us to get more details into this, we definitely can. There's a lot of details to this, but we don't want to hold you guys up.
Nope.
You streaming tonight?
Nope.
So we will talk to you guys again. Like I said, let us know if you guys want us to talk about this more. I can see if we can do something, I don't know, next week or something, just something quick, and we can just talk about just more into it, because it's a lot of shit in here that maybe a lot of people
like bring up about. Like the Fallout game references that are in there. Yeah. Apparently there's 111. So,
yeah. So I know a lot of people might have a lot of questions. We're not like expert at this shit. No. Lexi more than me. But we enjoy Bethesda. So, yeah. So thank you for listening. And we will see you guys again later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.